standing on top of the Benevenna Mountain, the most northerly peak on the Sperrin Mountain range. As you turn and look north, you have this great panoramic view of the mighty North Atlantic as it rolls into shore. You have, on a clear day, a clear view from the Scottish Isles right across to Inishowen Head and the Donegal Hills. And as you look down, the mountain runs down to meet the sea at Benoan Beach, which runs from downhill, the aptly named downhill, all the way to McGilligan Point, 7 miles of beautiful golden sand. Looking out to the west, you can see the flatlands of McGilligan, of Maroe, Ballykelly, right up along the side of the loch on towards Derry City itself. And looking due north, you can see the Sperrin Mountain range disappear away into the distance past Dungiven and onwards. And the upper rim of that range forms the lip of the valley of the Roe. And you see the grounds running from the mountains right down to the river that runs down through the midst of the valley. And the river, of course, gives the valley its name, the River of the Roe, which has its origins high in the Sperrins, and as it flows down through the mountains and the bog, it grows in volume and width as it flows past Dungiven into the area known as the Valley of the Roe. And indeed, I can remember, and I can go back a bit, that my grandparents, when they were going in to shop, didn't go to Mhadaidh, they went to Newton, of course, Newtown, Mhadaidh, and you can still see the name. It's the name of the local central car park now. You can see the name Newton on that car park. So a lot of history there. Across the river on the other side was the great ancestral home of the Ritters. It is now, of course, the widely known Roe Park Hotel with its grand avenue and grounds, and of course its great golf course. And as you walk up behind the hotel towards the golf course, there's a plaque which identifies on a plateau in front of you the area where the great convention of Drumcat was held. And the convention was called by King Hugh II to discuss the topics of the day and make decisions and what have you. And it is famous because it is known that Colmkill attended that conference, and he was greatly revered in the area, and he held great sway in the decision making at that convention. And one of the things that we know that he did, the King Hugh wanted the bards and poets banned from the area, wanted them thrown out because their work was causing him problems, and he thought they were acting above themselves, and he wanted rid of them. Colmkill argued their case, and they were allowed to stay, of course, providing they toned things down a bit and behaved themselves. So a good bit of history there. The river then flows on to the flatlands of Maroe, and it passes an area called Broiter, which immediately brings to mind the famous Broiter gold, which was uncovered there by a farmhand, I think it was called McCurry, when he was tilling the land. And there's a great story around the Broiter gold, a true story, mixed a little bit with folklore and what have you. But the Crown laid claim to the treasure, and there was a court case in London, and their case was based on the fact that centuries earlier, when the Lough Foyle flowed right up through Maroe, the gold had been deposited there as an offering to Mhadaidh, Glór, the god of the sea. And of course, we know that high in Benevna Mountain, we have a statue commemorating Mhadaidh Léim looking out over the area. So maybe it was true. But anyhow, the case was fought for the Irish by Lord Carson, the same Lord Carson who stands in a plinth outside the Stormont buildings. And he won the case, and it is now, of course, in the museum in Dublin where it's exhibited. The river then flows on northwards to where it flows out into Lough Foyle, a few miles from the mouth of the Lough and the Great North Atlantic. So that is a small sketch of the famous Roe Valley with its great scenic beauty, its history, its folklore, and above all, its kind and welcoming people. The beautiful valley of the Roe.